hello, welcome to a beautiful day in Georgetown, Ontario. Today it almost looks like spring. It is spring, it's beautiful, it's 10 degrees and all the snow in the ground is melting. Not too much on that side. I hope that will go away. Today I will talk about why did I buy an R32 GTST over a GTR. And first, let's get these babies out of the cover. Alrighty then, so let's talk about why did I buy a R32 GTST. Let's get the elephant out of the room. It's cheap. It's a lot cheaper than getting any sorts of a true GTR. I don't care about which GTR you're talking about, but the GTST is always going to be cheap. Let's get that out of the way. Now let's talk about, it's a white doe. See, the birds are coming back, hey? I am so ready for spring. Oh. It's chilly, it's still chilly. All right, so why a GTST? First of all, you really should keep in mind the GTST comes with an RB20 instead of an RB26. The one I have, it is the RB20 DET. It's not an RB26 or RB25 DETT. So RB20 DET means it's a 2-liter, straight 6, single turbo. All right, it's not a twin turbo variant. Now, having said that, straight out of the box, they have 230 some horsepower, where a RB25 or especially an RB26 will have a claimed 276. But we all know the dyno all over the world with over 320 wheel horsepower. Then you add another 15 or 20% drive loss. So RB26s, they are quite a bit more powerful than an RB20 at any given day. Now, let's go back to why a GTST. If you follow my channels previously, you would know I am a big Nissan guy. I have quite a bit of, there's a 300ZX, there's one and there's another one. Actually, I don't think you guys know about these two cars. I just never talked about them. I really should start talking about those two 300ZX over there. These are the one I'm talking about. That one is a good running vehicle. That one is a manual twin turbo, but the engine and tranny sit inside the shed. And both of these cars are very, very good examples. Both of these cars are very, very good example of the Z32 chassis, basically meaning they're a complete vehicle. They have all the parts and everything that makes a complete car. Going back to the GTST, the reason I bought a GTST is I have a lot of Z32 parts and they are a straight exchange with the GTST. The suspension system, the upper control arm, lower control arm, front and back, the coilovers, the transmission. So the GTST has the same transmission out of a 300ZX NA, so the VG30DE. Now, the difference between the VG30DE transmission and the DETT transmission is it's literally the bell housing. And that transmission, if you know the code, leave it in the comment section because the code is right now, it's just not kicking into me right now. They also have the same transmission on the S13s, S14s. So the SR20 or SR20 DET transmission, they're all the same. Now, the twin turbos, they obviously have a different bell housing, but the transmission is the same, which makes the clutch pack and everything else is the same. I can go to my favorite website, Rock Auto, and I can buy a clutch, and the GTST does need a clutch. I can buy an MPAT clutch, 4-puck clutch, delivered to me. It was about 230 Canadian, which is less than $200 US. That's a deal. That is a deal. I don't have to overnight anything from Japan because the shipping will kill me, and I can not worry about any of the hassle. So The suspension system, I can just go to Rock Auto and get all the suspension, or I can go to Z1 Motorsports. Actually, for the clutch, I can go to Z1 Motorsports and they will have a Z1 clutch or all the other variants of it, but they're a little bit more money than Rock Auto. I'm not saying they're any bad, it's just a little bit more money and I'm cheap. So I can get all of these parts as long as it's GTST. Now, only thing different in this car is the motor. That's an RB20 motor. And RB parts are a little hard to come by in Canada, but I guess that's okay because now I'm just dealing with the motor, not the whole car. For the rest of the car, I have supporting parts that will get me by. For the RB motor, I guess I'm gonna have to go to Z1 Motorsports, and there are a couple of other websites that probably overnight some parts from Japan, but as long as I don't break anything. All right. Now, the GTR community in Canada, or the RB community in Canada, is small. It is very small. On a pinch, I can get parts from them. Jerry Barvinick, I showcased his 240Z. He has a huge collection of parts, and his 240 has an RB20 in it. So he has a huge collection of RB20 parts. So, we were chatting the other day that he has a manifold with an RB26 single turbo on it, and the amount of money he was asking for it was very reasonable. It was super reasonable. It was not asking for crazy. And I don't know, I'm just anyway. So, a couple of reasons I bought the Skyline GTST. A, money. B, availability of parts. Because it shares a lot of parts from the S chassis and the Z chassis, these parts are available in Canada, in North America. If you are in anywhere in States, you can literally go to your Advance Auto Parts or AutoZone, anywhere local. And if you need any of the suspension components, they can just get it to you through their catalog, because it's either Z part or an S chassis part. The rear differential is also Z differential. I believe that is the R200 variant, not the R230 variant. Now, the R200 variant is the N300ZX NA variant, and the 230 is twin turbo. The major difference between them is the gear ratio. So the 200 has the higher gear ratio, where the 230 is a little bit lower. But also, people say that R200 is good for 700 horse, and R320 is good for somewhere around like 9,000 horsepower. R320 has a 9.3-inch rear axle, which is a little bit more than a 4.9-inch rear axle. But anyway, the R200, which is also a limited slip, differential. So it is a good differential, and I have no intention of rebuilding or doing this motor. I just want to paint the car, make it run nice, and drive around. That's all I wanted. The Skyline does need a set of tires, so I have a couple of options. First, I can go with the Z32 twin turbo rims, which is a staggered setup, and R32 being a rear-wheel drive will definitely be beneficial. Option two is these XXR 551 rims. The car had these rims, and I noticed because I have TN all around it, and it's pretty slammed, and they rub, which is I'm just not a big fan of that. They are 17 by 9.5. I probably have to go somewhere around 17 by 7.5 or 8. The only way I can make them fit, is to actually flare the fenders, and it's just something I don't want to do. They also have a very aggressive offset, so I don't know. Leave it in the comment section if you want me to put those on. Or the last thing I can do is stick to the OEM rims, but I will color them in some sort of a gunmetal, because that's the color that came with the R32 GTRs. Yeah, leave it in the comment section, because I want to know what you guys think, which one I should put. A little update about the Skyline or the 300ZX. Now, if you guys have seen my previous video, link in the description, you would know that I needed all the quarter panels to be reworked. I needed the front bumper and missing the rear wing. So I was able to locate the front quarter panels, front bumper, and the rear wing for 700 Canadian. A local guy hooked me up. He has a bunch of RV parts, so I was really grateful that I don't have to ship anything. I just went to his shop, and those are in the process of getting repainted, because I'm not sticking with this matte black, stupid matte black. I'm going to the factory gunmetal gray color because that's the color code for this car. I'm just going to the factory gunmetal gray and that would be it. Now the next thing is going to be have a safety and certified, and for the safety and certification I believe I need a lower control arm. Not exactly sure if it's going to be the passenger side or the driver's side, but that's something that you need to put on a lift and inspect it properly. And the next thing it needs is a clutch. So those will be done in March, April, progressively, and depending on the funds that I can amass, or if this video goes viral, boom, it will be done. What needs to be done with the Z32 is it needs a 120K kit. I was supposed to do it at the end of last season, but instead of doing that, I chose to go with the manual swap. So the manual swap is in, it runs beautifully, there is no hiccups anymore. Now the next thing is to focus on is getting the 120K kit done. And the way it looks like, it should be done within a month or so. I found a guy, we're just gonna get it done together. We may do a barter deal. We will figure something out. That's about it. That's an update with my babies, and stay tuned. There's a lot more videos coming through. I met a couple of guys in Ontario where there's big Nissan guys. They have some really nice R32s, R34s, 300ZX twin turbo, 800 horsepower 300ZX twin turbo, and stuff like that. So stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. A lot more videos coming in.